What's up everyone, Trent here.
Along with Julia.
Welcome back to the channel, and we're back with the 4th episode of Avatar The Last Airbender, Into the Dark. Yes, Aang was captured by the Earthbenders in Omashu. We had Jet and the Freedom Fighters with Katara foiling the assassination attempt on Sai.
Such a good water whip.
And Boomy.
And Boomy.
Yes, a first glimpse at Boomy. And we got Jet and the Freedom Fighters, which was exciting. Sai and Teo.
Yeah.
And our first look at Azula.
Yes.
Colluding with Zhao.
Yes.
So yeah, very excited. Let's check this out.
Let's go. Hello? Oh, the crystals. That's cool.
Fires weren't my fault, and neither was the fight.
Save your voice. Earth Kingdom soldiers aren't particularly tolerant, even under the best of circumstances. And these are most definitely
not the best of circumstances.
The best of circumstances. It's good to see you, young Avatar.
And Zuko, they captured him too?
I hope not. With any luck, he's probably halfway back to his ship by now.
This is all his fault. He started the fight and left you behind and ran away.
Nope.
I'm really starting to see what kind of person he is.
I doubt that.
I love how Iroh thinks so fondly of Zuko and so high.
Were you working with the enemy?
It's complicated.
No, it's not. It's a simple question. Were you helping the Firebenders?
Doing it for Teo.
Yes. Teo,
Oh, the disappointment.
I was trying to protect you. The Firebenders said that they would kill us, and then they'd attack the city if I didn't cooperate. The only reason Omashu has been left alone is because of whatever small service I provided them.
Service. Is that what you call giving weapons to the enemy?
Weapons? No. No. Just minor designs. Nothing of any value in war.
Anything can be turned into a weapon in the wrong hands.
Yep.
Especially with the Fire Nation.
They wouldn't do the deal if it didn't benefit them in any way.
You know what it means to make hard choices? Your father had to leave your family to go to war, leaving you, just a boy, in charge. We do what we must to survive. We compromise.
He's
Just
right.
enough to get by.
It is the hard choice.
My father would have never done what you did.
Also shows the desperation that war and conflict brings out.
Yeah.
Love the Earthbender uniforms.
I do too.
Clever girl.
That was a quick change.
Yeah. Perfect sizing too.
It's a quick change when you're nude and ready to go.
It's such a good design.
Hey.
Young
Hey,
Boomy.
Boomy. How's training going? I'm doing all right with my forms, but shaping is hard. What are you talking about? Looks exactly like a sky bison. It's supposed to be a badger mole.
Oh.
You sure?
There's nothing like earth-bending masonry. Gravity-defying towers. Impenetrable prisons.
I like the parts of Omashu that aren't so depressing.
Cities are like people. They always have their dark sides.
Seems pretty dark on all the sides these days.
Yeah, that's what a century of war will do.
A war started by the Fire
Listen to
Nation,
what Iroh's saying.
and a war the Fire Nation could end.
If it were only that simple. My brother, the Fire Lord, sees things through only one lens. Victory or defeat. Nothing else
At all
matters.
costs.
Not even the loved ones lost along the way.
Aww.
That's why Zuko's so hot to catch me?
Oh, his son.
So he can win this war?
Zuko's victory lies not in winning the war, but in winning his life back.
Winning favour.
You could show him this isn't the way. He'll listen to you.
He's trying.
Yeah.
He owes you that much.
On the contrary, it is I who owe him
Renewed purpose.
far more than I can ever repay.
You can get us into the palace.
Not after today. I'm sorry, I can't.
What about the tunnels?
Tunnels,
Tunnels?
you say.
The secret tunnels, hidden under the
Secret
mountain.
tunnels, you say.
It said that the founders of the city used them to meet without anyone knowing.
Yes, there are tunnels, but they're unstable. Those who go in never come out. If you believe the tales, vengeful spirits guard the passages.
There's a curse.
Not just secret tunnels, secret haunted tunnels?
There's nothing I can do about the palace guards.
We'll worry about that. Just help us get inside.
Oh, there's no secret tunnel song.
Where are you taking him?
To the pit.
The pit?
An Earth Kingdom labor camp for prisoners of war. No one who's been sent there has ever been heard from again.
Psych!
Yeah, that's...
But also showing him not everything, like
You.
each side has their darkness.
Yes.
You're not as lucky. You're going
You're
to
going to see the king.
Due south, and this one
Ooh.
Ooh.
spiral straight up. What is it?
It's my Fire Nation contact.
Tell him you'll meet him. Then go to the Earth Kingdom generals and let them know they can set a trap to round up these spies.
Yes.
No. The Firebenders made it clear. Any resistance and they'll send everything they've got at us.
Let them come. The Avatar has returned to the world. It's time to stop hiding. It's
Call their
time to
bluff.
fight.
That's a cool throne.
That's a very cool throne.
The prisoner you requested. He was caught fighting, destroying property, and he's an airbender.
An airbender.
Lotus root, pine bark, dried jasmine. Lotus root, pine bark, dried jasmine, scalding hot water, steamed for 2
Tea!
minutes.
I want tea!
Tea?
Okay.
And you're wrong about him.
We witnessed the bending.
Wrong! He is not just an airbender. He is the master of all 4 elements, the savior of the world. He is the Avatar. And he's very, very good at rock skipping.
Boomy?
Hello, Aang.
Aw.
Boomy!
No challenges to figure out his identity.
He's still alive.
Clean living, the right diet, ooh, and luck. Hard to say if it's good or bad luck, but more importantly, how are you still alive? I'm still a child.
And a child.
Pine bark? What idiot told you to put pine bark in it?
He's gone.
You did.
He's gone mad with power.
Throw him a feast.
I'm not sure how I feel.
No, it's a very interesting take on Boomy.
Yeah. I kind of liked the crazy old man that was still quite smart.
This one
is
seems
just-
very mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Everyone's in fear,
Yeah, everyone's in fear. No one was in fear of Boomy.
which kind of puts into context everything Jet was saying last episode. I thought he was just telling made-up stories, fables. That'll come in handy.
Jet,
You betrayed us.
betrayed you? I stopped you from killing innocent people.
Innocent? Spies, traitors, is that who you wanted to save?
Not everyone out there is the enemy.
If you stand against us, you are.
He sounds like whiny Anakin.
Life may be simple in the South Pole, but here you have to make hard decisions. That's what it means to fight a war.
It is giving grand context to the
I
complexities.
thought you were on our side. On my side.
Charmer.
You've forgotten what you're fighting for. You told me to remember my mother, and I did. I remembered she never wanted bitterness to fill my heart. That's how I know you've ended up on the wrong side. You're not fighting for anything you love. You're fighting because of hate. Just like the Firebenders.
Ooh,
I am not
that'll cut him.
like the Firebenders.
Oh, don't.
Nice.
Ooh! Yay, she froze him.
Goodbye, Jet.
Look at the power you have. That's because of me.
That wasn't you. That was me.
Ha!
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell him. Jet, you jerk.
You Jet the jerk.
Already gone.
You!
Sir, I was assigned prisoner transfer duty, but I'm late. And if my commander finds out, I'm already in enough trouble this month.
The old firebender was taken to the pit. The other one's still here.
The other one?
Other one.
Yeah, the bald kid. The king wanted to see him. Well,
Interesting
you're just
choice.
gonna stand there?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. What's your choice?
Also, I like how quick Zuko was on his feet there for prisoner transfer duty.
Short ribs from Kangaroo Island. They practically jump into your mouth.
As an Australian, I'm disappointed.
I'm very disappointed, yep.
heard it really helps with your complexion. I'm good. That was a good one.
I'll take the stew.
Huh?
I don't eat meat.
That's right, you don't.
Don't.
Good choice.
Was this a test?
Yeah.
What? A test? No. More like a game. You always liked games, didn't you? Frozen in an iceberg for 100 years, huh? That must have been nice.
No, it was a nightmare.
Ah, come on. How bad could it have been, huh? The world is on fire. People are dying.
Oh.
Got to sleep through it all.
Oh, no.
Let us leave.
That one I liked.
That one was good.
Don't you care?
You dare tell me I should care? Have you been fighting the same fight for a century? Have you watched your whole world burn down around you? You may be 100 years old, but you haven't lived for 100 years. Especially not these 100 years.
Fair.
It made me believe you've lost hope. Not you, Booby.
Oh, really? Challenge accepted.
It is a very interesting take on Boomy.
It's an interesting take. It's a fair point, though, of the you are 100, but you are still 12.
Yes. Yeah, you haven't lived through the atrocities that we've had to.
Mind you.
Do you hear
Gran.
music?
Yes!
The nomads are here.
Oh, good. Grab that, would you?
Shake it. You're getting into it. I did not expect Soccer to be vibing with him.
That was all kinds of right. So what are you doing here?
What are we doing here? What are you doing here?
We're doing what we're doing.
Right, but why are you doing it here?
Here.
Acoustics.
Yeah, fair.
Tsunomashu.
But
Hear that? Harmony. That's what we're all about. Harmony, music, love.
Love.
If these guys are okay being here, the tunnels probably aren't that bad.
Tunnels? No, these aren't the tunnels. Those are the tunnels.
Those are imposing and ominous-looking tunnels.
Yeah, I want to go in there. You should probably see this. The Tale of Two Lovers.
Let me tell you a tale.
Oh, the Tale of Two Lovers.
Oma and Shu.
Oma and Shu met on top of the mountain that divided their two villages. The villages were enemies, so they couldn't be together. But their love was strong, so they found a way. They learned earthbending from the Badger Moles, becoming the first earthbenders. They built elaborate tunnels so that they could meet secretly. But one day, Oma didn't come. She'd been killed in an attack.
I'm loving the simplification of the story to tell it like this.
Shu wielded her earth-bending power to bring the villages to their knees. She could have destroyed them all.
But she didn't.
But instead, she declared the war over. The great city was named Omashu as a monument to their love.
Love how simple it is depicted as well.
Love is brightest in the dark. Remember that.
Remember that.
Especially if you're going to go into the dark void from which no living being ever returns.
Two lovers.
It'll be okay. There's nothing to be afraid of in there.
The war divides.
There's no such thing as angry spirits.
Tunnel. Yes!
Secret tunnel through the mountains. Secret, 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 secret tunnel. Yeah.
They're doomed.
A full complement of earthbenders just for one old man.
I'm flattered.
I do wish he was naked.
And losing clothing.
Just more no. I liked him being captured from the hot spring and just naked doing all this stuff.
There are many around these parts who'd be very interested to know that the famed Dragon of the West is in their midst.
The Dragon.
Fire Nation general who laid siege to Ba Sing Se for 600 days. Someone might be tempted to take matters into their own hands. We can't let that happen, can we? Now, is there anything I can do to make your journey more comfortable?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh.
It's a long ride to the pit.
And I've got all the time in the world.
It is a strong reminder of all the hurt that, although Iroh is much more soft and worldly and wise now, he did do a lot of harm.
A lot of harm.
Ooh, drop the White Lotus.
A word of advice, the direct path is not always the best path.
I should take the route that doesn't.
Oh, cool.
It means you should be careful where you step.
Still teaching him.
Hey, what is this?
Genomite.
Damn!
Yeah.
Boomy, what are you trying to prove?
Prove? Maybe I'm trying to show you there are no easy journeys for the Avatar. Maybe I just wanted to play a game, like we did back in the old days. Maybe I just wanted a bite of rock candy.
There's the tile.
I'm coming, Uncle.
Yay.
I like that this is the start of Zuko's true, proper self-discovery.
This way.
Is that what the map says?
My intuition.
Map's unclear, but I got a hunch.
Following my gut.
A hunch, a feeling, an instinct. Well, what do you know? Love is brightest in the dark. Get it? It was a clue. You have to let it get dark so you can follow the light. That's how you find the path.
The light?
It's so weird hearing Sokka say that.
Yeah.
They're pretty random.
It's a path.
It said love is brightest in the dark, not glowy rocks.
Poetic license, like the minstrel said. Love is innocent. Love is all you need. Love makes the world go round.
Now you're listening to the minstrels.
Love is all you need.
And you keep acting like you know everything when you couldn't even tell that a traitor was flat out lying to you.
Says the girl who fell for a terrorist.
That's not what happened.
You should have never talked to him.
You don't get to tell me who I can talk to.
And you don't get to just ignore me.
I can if you're being an idiot.
Dad put me in charge.
You're not Dad.
Oh.
Imagine if Gran could see us now.
We could go for some of her seal jerky.
Or noodles.
We'll get some soon.
How to bring it back.
You really think so?
Remember.
I don't know.
Gotta have hope. Don't tip it.
Firebenders don't need water, right?
At this point, you're being no better than the Fire Nation.
No, Ba Sing Se, the city had to ration fresh water after the first year of the siege. Being in the military, we got special privileges. My brother, though, he had a soft heart. He was on watch the night you torched the Eastern Wall. By the time we put the fires out, there was nothing left of him to bury. He was 19. All those lives lost. All that fighting. And Ba Sing Se still stands. Was it worth it?
We were at war. I was a soldier.
You were a butcher. I can still smell smoke when I go to sleep at night. Never really goes away.
I suppose this is something. You can do in live action that you can't do in a kid's animation. Is deal with heavier themes like PTSD and grief.
Yeah.
War pushes us to the edge. Some of us don't like what we find there.
Is that your pitiful way of saying you're sorry for what you did?
I wasn't talking about me.
Ooh.
Yeah, call him out.
Oh, it's true, isn't it? You have no humanity. You know nothing of loss.
It's so interesting that's what he sees.
Mm.
The persona that is shown to
Yeah.
everyone except for like that he shows to Zuko
And
that
people actually...
pain you do see in him.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. Great acting.
Yeah.
Is it true he abandoned the siege?
Yes, after his son was killed.
So, his son dies a hero and he'll be forever known as a coward.
Brother, take comfort in knowing that Lutan will forever be hailed as a champion of the Fire Nation.
Thank you, Ozai.
Ozai standing over him.
His sacrifice will be enshrined in legend.
Uncle, what a great honor for you and for Lutan to die in the service of the Fire Nation. When my studies weren't going well and Father was unhappy, Lutan gave me this. He'd won it for finishing first in his officer class. He said it should belong to someone destined to do great things. He gave me strength.
Leaves from on, not leaves from Ravine. Oh, it's a beautiful version of it.
Because he was the strongest person I knew.
Aw. Good Zuko. One moment I hope we see in season 2 is the Tales of Ba Sing Se
Oh, I
moment.
love that episode.
Yeah. Oh, good Zuko. Good Zuzu.
You're getting good at that.
Practice and some good instruction. Jet, he helped me through some things. He lost family, just like us. He got me to see that I'd only been thinking about how Mom died and not how she lived. Jet might have
It's a
gone
nice
down the
little
wrong
bridge.
path,
Yeah.
but he was
This is
pushed
what I
that
say,
way,
it's a recurring theme.
just like Sai was.
And how each person has been impacted differently. Jet being angry and vengeful.
You know, I told me I should
Iroh,
be an engineer. That was my true calling.
You believe that?
yeah,
I
Iroh
don't
being
know.
much more
It
reserved
was
and
nice to hear someone
humble.
tell me I had something to offer the world.
Fatherly.
Besides my superior fighting skills.
What I said about you and Dad.
Forget it.
You led the tribe and protected us with nobody to help you. Dad never had to bear that kind of burden alone. You had it harder than him.
That'd mean a lot hearing that. And they're both in uncharted territory and unfamiliar waters that don't know who to
That's
trust,
not
all
right.
that sort of stuff out in this world.
The crystals
Oh,
were
no.
just crystals.
Oh no.
This shouldn't be here. We were here before, but this wall wasn't.
How is that possible?
It's not. Unless
Vegetables!
Vegetables!
the tunnels are changing.
Behind these doors lies a fearsome challenge. A true test of whether or not you are prepared to be
True
the Avatar.
test!
None that make any sense.
Nothing has made sense in 100 years.
This isn't who you are. The Boomy I know is a fun-loving, happy kid who loves to skip rocks and always thinks about his friends. I believe that kid is still in there.
It's all about games with you, isn't it, Avatar? Who cares about responsibility? Who cares about
That's literally what you're doing at the moment, Boomy.
world?
Yeah.
More fun to goof off, am I right? Let's play one final game.
Full of contradictions.
Yes.
One final game to play, Avatar. You
Versus me. Ripped and shredded, Boomy!
to the death.
With the long pit hair. To the death.
Any chance I imagine that?
Oh. Show us.
Badgermo!
Badgermo! Hello, cutie.
Yeah.
Badgermo.
Badgermo.
Scritches. Scritches on your head.
Who's scratches?
We're out of here. Nice. It's got good intensity. Now Ira's got the chance to prove that Earthbender wrong. Oh! Hello, I'm General Ghost Rider. This is why I'm the Dragon of the West.
Do it. Do it! We've all seen enough death.
There's his humanity.
Mm.
Oh!
That's what you get for showing an Earthbender compassion.
Oh.
Ow.
I think you should rest.
No time. They'll send more soldiers soon. We have to leave now.
I wonder if that had gone any different if Zuko would have recognized the compassion. Vicious little things.
Yeah. I want one.
You're obsessed with honey badgers.
Yeah. You're so cute.
Aww.
Guitar, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
What's going on? Are we dead?
I smell love.
Love is brightest in the dark. It's blind. They don't navigate by sight, but by feeling. Love is brightest in the dark.
So they
You already said that.
respond to love?
Don't get it.
How do you think they do with verbal commands? Excuse me, Mr.
Oh, no.
Badgermole, we'd really appreciate if you could show us the way to the palace. Please?
Look at it tear up a wall.
Yeah. So 4 episodes in, we've already met 2 of the original Benders.
Mm.
Interesting take on love, not being the romantic love, but the love, any love between
love.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn!
Oh. You can hold back a bit, Boomy.
Some of us have to fight even when we don't want to. That's what it means to be in a war.
So is he doing this just to teach a lesson, or is he genuinely
Did both?
resentful of Aang? Ooh, resentful of Aang.
Because Aang knowing it's Boomy is...
Known about that if you'd been around, but you weren't. You left us.
Oh, there it is.
You were the Avatar, and you left us. In this world, you can't rely on anyone, even your friends.
I think he's legitimately blaming him.
Mm. Oh, I love the discs.
Yeah.
One of my favourite earthbending moves.
Yeah.
It's time for the games to end.
Let's bring it all down. It's just happy to...
Boomy, I can't hold both of them. Help me!
Let it fall. Let it fall. And you win.
Boomy, this isn't a game!
Yes, it is. One that requires you to make impossible choices. Do I save this town or that? You have to make choices like that day after day, year after year, and that's just to save this one city. You have to save the whole world. Let it fall, Aang.
He's projecting.
Learn what it means to be the Avatar.
Nope. Aang saves people.
Then the world is doomed.
Very odd choice of lesson that they're trying to get going here. Ice slide!
Well, kid, you sure know how to bring the house down.
You cheated! You didn't do it on your own, so you didn't learn
did it with
anything
friends.
at all.
You were wrong. You can rely on your friends. That's the only way I'm gonna save the world. With my friends.
You think like a child.
Is that really so bad?
He hasn't become cynical or jaded or...
Remember this? I use it to call a friend.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, nice touch.
Call on an old friend. You're right. I wasn't here for the world. Or for you. But I'm here now.
I like that he didn't just buy it at a market and...
Fire Nation forces are on the move. They'll be here by dawn.
You're under attack?
We will be. But we will be ready. Fortunately, a source tipped us off.
Good sigh.
Sigh? The Beckonist alerted the generals to a network of spies in the city. Helped us round them up. The Avatar has places he has to be. It's time the Washu rejoin the war. Oh, but I do have one more challenge for you.
Nice.
My cabbages! As much as I haven't liked some of the changes in this, I am liking the recurring themes of love and how there are difficult choices that people make in the world.
Always getting on or off boats. Perhaps that is our lot in life, Prince Zuko.
Ooh, we haven't seen the Agni Kai.
Ah, good. It's not too late.
What are you doing here, Uncle?
Same as you. Getting ready to embark on what is sure to be a memorable journey.
You want to come with me?
I've come fully prepared. All the tea I need.
I don't need a babysitter.
How about a friend?
Oh, don't play that song again.
My father made it very clear that I am not to return until I find the Avatar. Which means it could be a very long time before we return home.
Home. Everything I need is on this boat.
Oh.
Like I said, all the tea I need.
Oh, I like how they both got watery, and we got watery. Oh.
What is it, Zuko?
Nothing. Let's get you home.
A very nice finish. I love their dynamic. Out of the entire animated series and so far live action. Excuse me. Oh,
Emotional.
the way they did that in there with the orchestral movement behind it, great. Just really powerful. But it's my favorite part of the animated series, except when Toph comes in. The dynamic between Iroh and Zuko. It's just the paternal bond that Iroh has with Zuko and the teachings and just how he guides him, with Zuko being his arrogant, prideful, very determined and driven self, still tries to guide him. And that nice touch at Liu Tang's funeral where Zuko just that was really the first connection that we've seen.
It
was
a nice way for Iroh to see that he's not his brother's son, if that makes sense. Like, he's not cold and heartless, and that he has compassion.
Yes.
And
the qualities that Ozai lacks.
That is lacked. That was definitely his mother's qualities in that way. And to see there and to see the compassion that he has, and that's just it was so lovely to see that moment.
Yeah, really good. And then Iroh realizing that, knowing, and you would know that he knows what Ozai's like as well, and that he would need to be a father figure for Zuko, because Ozai is not going to be the dad that Zuko needs, and taking him on as he lost the one thing in the world that meant the world to him. So this is now, Zuko is now his everything. And I love that we got to see that establishing connection at Liu Teng's funeral.
But we also got to see the fear that he instills in everyone else.
The Dragon of the West. Everyone knows him.
Of the West, yeah.
Of the Dragon of the West. And that would be a haunting name around the Earth Kingdom.
Definitely.
Because that's Omashu. That's not Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
And these are people who are obviously on the 600-day siege.
Yep.
They've all shipped around the Earth Kingdom and are doing posts at different things. So stories will be spread around. And you have the grief and loss.
Grief and loss through different, and then the standing up to go almost the don't do what I would have done.
Yes, you're going down the same path that I was.
Be better than me.
Yeah,
and because you got to think as well that the death of his son wouldn't be announced as the reason why they left as well. So everyone still just sees the Dragon of the West. It's only within the Fire Nation where it is that dishonor, where he's come home a coward.
And that, actually, before we move on to the Earth Kingdom stuff, that was really powerful, seeing that couple speaking and talking about that dishonor that he had within earshot of him at his son's funeral.
At his son's funeral!
Like, and you wonder why he wanted to go on Zuko's exile with him and get out of there
and get away from the Fire Nation.
Because he's so appreciative of all different culture. He's so worldly. He's wise. Earthbender. This is Earthbender building, no seams, and just those little things. But the Earthbenders and the grief.
The grief that the Earthbenders would have as well, it's not like they would see that within him either, because it's just this outlandish character who has no humanity, who laid siege for 600 days and starved
caused so
us
much
and
grief,
caused so much
harm, pain. Yep. It's also the throes of war, and
which is what he linked back to. It's like we all are pushed to a point.
Yeah, and it's completely. It makes complete sense that the Earthbender wouldn't, just because he said this, I'm gonna believe this now. No, you can't overcome grief like that when you're facing the person who has taken everything from you. You can't just wipe away years of pain and hurt and harm just because the person who committed the atrocity has had a change of heart. Iroh wasn't fighting back. He was in chains.
Yeah.
I said in the reaction that they're being just as bad as the Fire Nation. And to an extent, with the emotion and with the hurt that's caused, of course they'd be justified in thinking that. And in the live action sense, where we don't have the children's themes, there are still heavy themes in the animated series, but they can go and focus on much heavier themes, and how the world isn't a perfect place.
Yeah, they can take it that next level and hit that theme that is just that the brutality of life,
and that war corrupts everyone.
Yeah,
everyone is a victim.
When in war there is no winners.
Yeah, there's no winners.
You can't see it through the lens of defeat and victory, because it's not that simple.
It's not cut and dry. It's very much and I'm actually really glad they've done it quite well, seeing the impact that the war has had. And this is just one town in the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah.
Kyoshi was separated, and that was a different impact. They actually isolated. This is an impact where they've got spies throughout. You've got Jet and the Freedom Fighters blowing stuff up. They are at war. They are within the conflict. And now the Fire Nation coming and laying siege.
Yeah.
That's an interesting to hear, because I mean we know that does happen, but actually hearing it and seeing that they're coming is
different.
Interesting.
To the whole point of the whole point of the trials to Aang was for Aang to learn lessons and to grow up in that regard.
Yes.
But then to realize what is in front of him and that he is to see what is in front of him, to remove the blinkers, to remove the blinders, to see that there are potentially friends everywhere.
But also to learn that that's his friend who's still alive.
And then to also learn that it's Boomy, not just straight away going, it's Boomy.
It's a tactical thing. As Avatar, you're going to have to think laterally. You're not going to be able to think in a straight line in a certain way. You need to be able to adapt. That was there to an extent, but focusing more on the conflict and the war and the difficult choices of war.
And definitely I can see why they characterized Boomy in that regard, because you are looking at a 112-year-old man who has sacrificed so much for his city and has made those really, really tough choices, and to have someone from his past just turn up and still be 12.
Yes, but
hard. But to do that to... He's 12!
112.
No, he's a 12-year-old boy who is still learning.
He hasn't been corrupted by the world.
And he hasn't been corrupted. Yeah,
he has that youthful optimism and naivety.
He really
and the exuberance.
does. And to try and remove that from him is so hard to watch. Like, I know I harp on about how mean Gran was, but she literally dictated the destruction of the world to a boy who literally just woke up.
Gran wasn't mean. She was just inconsiderate in that she was telling the tribe the story while Aang's just sitting there referring to, he doesn't know. Him.
Well, this was definitely, I feel, a little bit more...
You abandoned us. You weren't here.
Yeah.
You let all this happen because you weren't here.
And I'm not liking that blame onto Aang, because the Avatar disappeared, yes, but no one knew it was Aang.
No one knew it was Aang, but also no one knew it. No one knew that his disappearance was of no one's fault.
Of no one's fault, yeah.
So you can understand. And again, it's the live action sense. You don't have to have the same plot points, and it makes sense in this much more. It is a bit more grim in how it's portraying the war. So it does make sense that someone who's ruled a country who's been constantly attacked, and you see that, like we heard about the corruption inside, you got the Fire Nation spies, to feel abandoned and have to fight, it would wear you down. You can understand that. My biggest gripe and issue with it, and again, it does come from very much how I like Boomy in the animated series, is that this is Aang's oldest living friend. It is the only person who is still alive aside from Appa.
Yep.
The only person. And when he finds out that that's Boomy and he's alive, his face is overcome with joy. They do the big hug. And it's good to see you, Aang.
Yeah.
It's such a happy moment because something from Aang's past that he's lost everything was still there, and so happy to see him, and to have Boomy be that old, disgruntled, very nihilistic.
I want to make a joke of a boomer, but
Boomy. He's a boomery.
Something just didn't hit.
Boomy didn't hit right. No. They did the design as well as they could for live action.
Oh, definitely.
The prosthetics and the makeup and everything.
Earthbending in it was amazing, and I love the disc movements.
I just love how they get it so forceful. And
and it's nice seeing the different variations between the elements and the waterbending movements to the fire movements to that really hard earthbending, to them not wearing shoes, which was really cool. There was just something off.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was something missing or how it was portrayed, but I feel like the revelation early of it being Boomy did take a lot away from it.
Yeah.
Because Aang is just questioning, are you just crazy? Are you just an old 100-year-old crazy kook?
Yeah.
Like...
And a lot of the little games and trials he was playing, I wasn't really a big fan of. I was kind of just, They didn't have an impact to build towards something later.
They just seem to have that cut to them where it's just like, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah,
And it's like, of course he doesn't know what it's like.
Yeah, here's the essential fan service of the rock candy. That didn't really add anything. Yeah, it was more just making Boomy disgruntled.
Yeah.
But I understand that he was still trying to teach him lessons, and all leading back to the tough choices of war. But yeah, not the direction I would have gone, and I wasn't a big fan of that direction.
Yeah.
The Cave of Lovers was interesting in that it was brother and sister.
Brother and sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that we still got the song.
The Nomads.
The Nomads. I'm glad we got
Minstrels.
the Nomads.
Yeah.
Interesting that the main... So it was the lights... The two groups are separated and they find out that you can either get through the tunnels via the lights or befriend the Badgermoles. It was interesting that it just lent to the, no, just befriend the Badgermoles. Where it was like, no, it was their love that guided them because this was how they met in secret and it was really cute. Not just, oh, look, glowworms.
To me, this was probably the weakest episode overall.
Which is a shame.
For Team Avatar. The Iroh and Aang moment, the Iroh and Zuko moments, excellent.
Brilliant. Team
Avatar stuff, I just think they tried to make it too complicated.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
And not to harp on the same point on every reaction, but what did Aang really learn?
Woo,
friendship! Team friendship!
Yeah. Yeah, he's really got to start learning some waterbending.
Yeah,
just some basic waterbending.
And
have Katara do something with him.
And that's it, like, something else?
Yeah.
Like, I get the lessons that he does need to learn and the growing up that he does need to happen, but there's no strength being built. We know he's an excellent airbender. We know he is top at that.
Yeah.
But we need to see him fail in a way, but then succeed. So the waterbending with Katara is definitely part of that, where Katara does get the jealousy because Aang just picks it up straight away.
But there seems to be a lot of focus on the twins. On the siblings.
The siblings, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of focus and a lot of, and I understand they're out of their element. They're in uncharted waters, in a kingdom that they've never been to, unfamiliar, and they've had several people betray them already.
I'm actually liking how they are focusing on that and building up that sibling relationship as well, or that familiar relationship.
Yes.
To have that we are out in the world and we're exploring it together, but we're doing this together. We are each other's true north almost.
Yeah.
For this.
That's, I am enjoying that. But it just, to me, this episode didn't hit all the right notes for me.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Not terrible, but just that something was missing.
I think they just tried to shoehorn too much in.
Similar to last episode where it was a shoehorning in of 3 stories. One did fall, which was the
Mechanist. Yeah.
In this one, it just felt like the 2 stories that they were trying to blend together weren't as cohesive as the other ones that they had.
And also, Aang didn't have really any sort of urgency to fight because they hadn't kidnapped.
Sokka
and Katara and had them being encased.
Had them being encased in the
Geminite.
Yeah.
So there was no real urgency for Aang, and it just kind of felt a bit flat.
Yeah, because I think it would have been different if you had Sokka and Katara following them in the rock crystal going, Aang, hurry up! It's getting tight. Yeah. There would have been more that kind of urgency to it.
I kind of wish there were more flashbacks to Aang and young Boomy as well.
Yeah.
But that was limited because Aang found out within the first 5 seconds of meeting Boomy that, it's Boomy. Yeah. That was the one I was probably looking forward to most, the Boomy episode. And again, that's just because it's probably because you have the animation. Someone who hasn't watched it may have enjoyed it more for what it is, but Boomy's characterization, and then to have it, he's obviously jaded and got this perception over 100 years of war, and having to fight the conflict and protect his kingdom, and then to have the love angle be the thing and the friendship angle the thing that immediately wipes all that away. It was a bit a bit rushed and unearned.
I feel like just the straight Boomy episode without the secret tunnel, which is one of my favourite episodes.
Yeah, keep that in season 2.
Especially with it's fine. They've
streamlined this.
They're streamlining.
We need to remember they streamlined it so it makes coherent sense, and
it's fine. It's fine. But to have Aang and Team Avatar doing their thing, to then have the crossover of Zuko through it, and then have the building of that arc and that reflections with Aro, and that I think would have melded better than trying to shoehorn in the
cave.
The cave.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing to say, because I don't think the cave was... It was still a really nice short story, just didn't
in
feel
this it didn't
right.
Yeah, it didn't add anything except for building off the bickering and fighting that Sokka and Katara were doing last episode. And again, it was basically rehashing that entire script.
Yeah.
Just in a cave.
Yeah.
But there was I did like the revelation of that really brutal line that Katara said about "You're not dad."
Oh, you're not dad. Yeah.
That was really good. I really thought that was a great line, and it showed the impact on Sokka and allowed them to come together and reminisce about the good times at Wolf Cove.
And also have the then build up of that. You're doing this alone. You've done this alone.
Yeah.
Dad didn't have that.
Yeah.
To show how proud that she is of him, which is really nice. It's, I just...
Yeah, it didn't feel like it belonged.
Yeah.
In my eyes. It detracted
from...
Too
soon.
Well, I don't think too soon. I just think it detracted from what they were trying to do with Aang and Boomy.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
And then, as to have Iroh and Zuko in, that was the most compelling part of the episode.
That actually really was. I'm surprised at how much I'm loving that story arc. And I think
I'm not at all. They're so good.
But I think it's because they brought that a little bit more forward in the timeline, because normally we see
not
little
too much more.
Not too much more, but just that little bit more that we feel a lot more. For Iroh's just not the yes.
Yes.
Yes. He's the
quirky uncle.
The quirky uncle. We're seeing a lot more of that depth a lot sooner, and we're making him go, oh, he is dangerous. He is powerful.
Yeah.
And he has had loss, and I really loved that part of the episode.
I love
that was
part
definitely a highlight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we both feel this way. The first misstep overall of the season. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate that it was this episode for you.
Yeah, for me, because I love Boomy.
You love Boomy.
But now it's at the point of I don't really want to see him again. Yeah. Unless they do a complete change and he turns into the weird, really weird
kooky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
I just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, gotta wait and see, and but tell us your thoughts on episode 4 in the comments. I'm Trent.
I'm Julia.
And as always, keep it nerdy.